you can't buy a plane ticket because a government says that your carbon footprint for the year has reached its limit. That's one of the concerns of my next guest, social commentator and Bitcoin expert Leah Halpern. He joins me to break down the potential digital cash nightmare looming and how it could be used to force eco-extremism on all of us. Hi, Leah.
Hi, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
OK, so are we talking here about the complete elimination of cash? If we had some spare notes under the mattress, would they be worth anything?
They could be worth something, but equally, they could also be worth nothing. We don't really know yet whether cash would be not accepted in certain stores. But what we do know is that central bank digital currencies are certainly coming. We saw the president of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, she was talking about them coming this week, even in the US. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, was also talking about the lack of anonymity that a central bank digital currency would have. And we also know earlier this year at Davos, they were talking about the tyrannical nature of a central bank digital currency, and that a new Bill of Rights, something sort of to that effect, would have to be drawn up to ensure that people's rights and liberties aren't impinged on. That doesn't give me any confidence in the future of it, because we know that whatever kind of Bill of Rights is drawn up, they'll just, throw it in the bin, a bit like they did with the Nuremberg Code and the vaccines, when you're not allowed to coerce people into taking foreign substances.
That's right.
So, picture your life in a place where everything you do, what you buy, how you behave, is tracked. The government gives you a score, and the score is a measure of how trustworthy you are as a citizen and determines what you're allowed to do, like ever. Boarding a train, getting a mortgage, all goes back to this score. It's called social credit. It sounds like that show Black Mirror, but it's actually happening in China. So how does that change you? Does it change you? What does your life look like when your every move is watched?
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well-behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wenwang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wenwang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiao Wenwang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to zero. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. But he only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once